guys, so today we're going to be talking about a morning spike. This is on CBDL on February the 10th. And basically what I'll be looking for here is normally, so this isn't a pattern I normally play. Normally I'm looking for, a morning panic. But what you're going to see in this clip here is right when 9:30 hits is the bid on the bid side, the level 2 on the bid side. You're going to notice that there's a lot of heavy stacking action right at the open on the bid, and there isn't a lot of there isn't a lot of sellers on the ask. So you'll notice that the ask is chipped away pretty quickly. And when I see that the bid never really gets weak and that the ask kind of fades away very quickly, I decided to go ahead and buy in right there, because that's a good risk reward, because that just shows that there's a lot of buyers. And you'll even hear me say I take small position to take that. So we're at the open now here, and let's go ahead and watch this. Watch the level 2 and watch those bids stack up. And actually take an entry right there. Look how quickly that goes. So my entry was at 9:30, 37. So 37 seconds in, I had an entry and I got filled at 0.017. And as you can tell, at this point, all I'm doing is I'm just watching that level 2. And I'm just watching the bid and the ask. I'm waiting to see selling pressure come in and wait for that ask to stack up. And as you can tell, the ask tries to come in here with 18 cents. And very quickly, it gets met right back with the resistance here at 179. 179 comes and defends and starts pushing against the 18-cent level. And just like that, we're going to be going to new highs. And as you can see, I'm very comfortable at this point at 81 cents. Again, I'm just watching that level 2 action, and here you see 182 come in. It's starting to stack up a little bit on the ask. It's starting to get a little bit heavier. So this is where we're going to kind of battle out. And I start taking some size off here because I see the ask and the bid kind of start to battle. I'm looking at that time of sales. I see a lot of size coming in, and I don't see the ask getting any weaker. I see a third buyer come in right there, and he immediately gets taken out. So there's a lot of selling pressure here. And just like that, there's a third seller. So I actually take the rest of my size off here, I believe. At 180 at 9:30, 317, I take off all my size, and just like that, you see the bid comes right back at 181. And here we go. The ask is stacking right back up. So now we have 4 on each side, and I'm looking at that time and sales tape to the right to see kind of what happens here. I'm looking for those prints. I'm trying to see if a lot of green prints go through or a lot of pink prints go through. And as you can see, the bid starts falling away here. So this is where I sell the rest of my position. And I'm like, time to get out, because at this point, the selling pressure is getting heavy. And I don't want to be caught in the stock going back down, especially when these OTCs that are very liquid. I don't want to get caught in some slippage. I want to take my safe profits and get out. Yep, and so I'm all out there. Alright, so I went ahead and slowed this down 50%, and I really just want you to focus on the bid and the ask. I want you to watch as the bid stacks up right at the entry, and then watch as the turn comes, and see if you can pick out when you would be entering and when you'd be selling. And keep in mind, with these kind of stocks and these kind of plays, you really have to be quick when you make these entries and these exits, because if you don't put your entry in quick enough, you're not going to get filled. And just the way these things move, you have to, once you see that turn, you have to put that entry in right away, and you have to make sure you're on the ball. So 9:30 hit, and go ahead and watch that level 2 really closely here. As you can tell, I'm looking at other charts like a dummy. And here we go. Again, this is really slow, And I'm doing this so you can really get an idea of how this level 2 moves. The other thing you want to look at is that time and sales tape to the right. If you see a bidder that's sitting on the bid, it's only one bidder, but you see a lot of red prints going through and that bidder does not go away, then you know he's selling hidden size. So always keep that in mind when you're looking at the bid and the ask. You also need to keep your eye on that time and sales tape to the right. And there we go. We see that bid stack up. And you'll see these green prints start coming in on that time and sales. You see those 2 extra bidders come in, and that's where you got to put your order in. Because look at those bidders are coming in. They're about to take out 17, and they have huge size. 570,000, 619,000. And boom, look at that. They take out 17 super quickly. And then as you can see here, the bidders just keep on coming. Now right here, you see a little bit of selling pressure. And when you see this selling pressure come in, you have to really pay attention to that time and sales tape and see if the bid holds up. And as you can tell, it does. The bid is stacking, or I should say the bid is holding steady with a lot of selling prints coming through on the right. And then you see the ask drop off right there. And now you have 2 bidders and 1 seller, both at 178, 179. That bidder comes off, and now we have some more sellers coming in at 18. Again, now you have to look, okay, is this where the sellers are going to win, or is the bid going to come back in and defend? And right now, it looks like the sellers are going to win, so I think I take some off here. Oh, no, I don't. I don't take any off here. And they're right, look at that, those bidders come right back. Again, this is also why it's very important to have a trade plan. You want to make sure you know what your goals are so you don't get shaken out too quickly. I'm shooting for 10 to 15% per trade, so I'm going to try and get as close to that as I can. And as you can see here, 181's coming in, trying to take out that 182 seller. It's got pretty big size though. Now we have 3 buyers, 1 seller. And as you can see on the time and sales tape, we have a bunch of different prints going through. We have some green prints right at the bid, some white prints right in between. And as you can see, these white prints, they're putting a lot of size on that ask. So those orders are going through, but the ask isn't going away. So now you see 182 comes back really quickly here. And look at that. Look at all those 182 prints going through. And only 1 seller got taken out. And there you go. That bidder just dropped. Now we have 2 bidders, 2 sellers. And this is the battle you're going to get when you're watching this level 2, with the bid and the ask keep going back and forth. And you have to ask yourself, are you nervous? Are you going to sell too soon? How far could it go? A big thing to keep in mind is the size difference. If there's not a lot of size being sold, but there's a lot of bids and a lot of asks coming in, whichever side has the most size will generally win. So if there's 4 asks but if there's four askers, but there's only one bidder with big size, there's a good chance he may stay. And look at that. That bid comes right back in super strong, trying to take out that 182. Now at this point, this battle's been going back and forth for a while now, so I'm getting a little antsy. And I want to be able to sell. With OTCs, you have to sell into strength. It's a lot easier to get filled. If it starts falling and the sellers take over, I know it's going to be hard to get out of my position, which means I might sell for a smaller gain or maybe even a loss. And right here, I'm starting to get a little worried. I'm like, okay, this is the third or fourth time this bid and this ask, or the bid hasn't been able to take out the ask. And right here, they're battling again. I see all these prints going through for each side, but no one's falling off. And right there, right when I see that bidder go, I'm like, okay, probably time to sell. So I actually put in my order right here to sell about half my shares, and I get filled right here at 90.33.17 because I see that bid getting really weak and the ask is stacking up. Right here, they're battling again. I still have half my shares. And I go ahead and sell the rest of my shares right here. Now this might have been a bit of a preemptive sell, with the bid is looking a little bit stronger here, but I was happy with my gains. I was up about 400 bucks, so I decided to take it. And here we can see the CBDL